Welcome. Welcome to a brand new video. I am your host, The Wizard Man, and I'm back. Back in a mixo to do it again. Doing a thing I love to do, and hopefully we're going to be doing it well. Well, fellas. It's been a while. It's been about approximately almost 3 weeks till this day since I last made a video. Where have I been? What have I been up to? That is the question. Well, many things as usual in my life happen, and they happen spontaneously. Kind of like a combustion in the combustion chamber when things kind of blow up. Yeah, they blow up in a bad way. So, let's see, where do I begin? Where does this story start? Let's start out from the very tip and the very tip of the top. So, since last we spoke, I was dealing with a lot of issues and things, unemployment, trying to figure out my path, where do I go, health issues, and then out of nowhere, car problems started to arise out of nowhere. So, turns out to be, I am on my way headed to Walmart. And I went to Walmart and I did my usual shopping. Coming back from the shopping, lo and behold, there's an issue. Now, this issue was already there. It's just I couldn't get to it, right? You know, life happens, you don't feel so good. And when you're older, it's hard to get up and around to repair all these things sometimes, you know. You have to make sure you're balanced, that you're strong, and that you can do all this, man. It sucks getting old. Anyways, getting to the point. So, it is my fault. I mean, I let things spiral out of control, but it's also because there's things that hold me back, like my health. So, I'm thinking, let me just get to the story. Okay, so the point of the story is that I'm driving back, and out of nowhere, my car is kind of making this kind of grinding noise. And to be honest with you, the car was already kind of a little bit low. And I suspected there was something wrong in the rear suspension previously before all this happened. I just couldn't get around to jacking up the car and looking into it. So lo and behold, the struts have gone bad. And so they got so low that the car, when it would drive, it was basically the back two tires were rubbing up against the top fender of the car. So I'm hearing this kind of grinding sound. I'm like, oh, and it's getting worse. I'm trying to drive home so that I don't need to rely on a tow truck or anything. Just make it home and whatever. I'll address the issue when I get home. But things start to get a little worse and the grinding's a little more aggressive. And I'm like, holy moly, man, what is going on? Am I going to make it home? And I was like, I'm just going to try to make it home. So anyways, thank God I make it home. Lo and behold, when I get out the car, I'm like, oof, man, yeah, tire's really low. And I can see that now the tire looks like to be damaged, kind of warped. You can see the metal braid kind of exposed. And I'm like, oh, man, this sucks. But, it is my life. And, people have it worse than me, just trying to be positive. So anyways, I'm like, okay, I'll address it. I just kind of just went off with it and said, it's got to be the struts. Everything else, I know the type of work I've done in my car because I've done the work myself. So I figured it would be struts again, but I had changed these struts, man. Funny thing is I had changed these struts 8-9 years ago, but I guess, they don't make struts like they used to. And maybe the funny thing is I don't use my car a lot. I used to work remotely and all that. So that's why I was kind of suspect about it. And that's why I didn't do it earlier. But anyways, it turns out that I ordered the struts. I got a great deal on a website called A1 Auto. I don't know if you guys ever need parts or anything like that. But man, boy, shout out to A1 Auto Sales. They have a great deals, man, and thank goodness they got me a great price for the two rear struts. So I ordered the struts, and lo and behold, they get here. I had the car jacked up and everything, but I ran into another issue. The other issue was that the little bolt that goes into the brake line needs to be removed so that I can remove the brake line so I can detach it from the strut, if that makes any sense. And I'm like trying to do that, but I ended up stripping the bolt a little bit. And I'm like, oh man, this sucks. And I don't want to strip it anymore because I didn't have the right, one of those open wrenches that you need, unfortunately. I have tools, but not excessively like that, not like a professional mechanic would. So I ran into that issue. And so I'm like, I'm probably going to have to cut this. And I've never cut metal in my life. So I'm researching things. At that moment, I said, I'm not going to be able to complete this job. I pulled everything, put all my tools away, started research on what to do. Thank goodness for YouTube. There's a lot of helpful community. This is why I love the scene. This is why I like to be a part of it, because there's so much help out there, man. And it's all free, man. Like, YouTube is the best thing since sliced bread, honestly. Like, hats out to those guys that teach and talk and, do their thing. Like, man, thank you all for that. So I found out that I can buy an angle grinder is what I meant to say, an angle grinder. And that's what I needed. But my car was broken. So I'm like, how am I going to get to Harbor Freight when Harbor Freight's pretty far? And I'm like, oof. But anyways, man, luckily I have a neighbor who was nice enough to lend me his car. Out of all things, I was like, wow. So thank goodness for that. There is good help out there, and I much appreciative of that. So I went and bought an angle grinder so they can cut off the struts, the little struts that are attached, the brake line that's attached to the struts, so that I can get them removed. Man, that was another mission and a half because I had to cut them. And honestly, I bought this very cheap angle grinder that, it worked. Thank goodness for that. But it wasn't the best. So, or maybe I just didn't know how to use it. Who knows? Maybe it's a combination of both. But each side took me about like 2 hours to cut through the metal, like an hour and a half each, I would say, something like that. 3 hours. It's crazy. But anyways, that's what I had to do. I was so tired for so many days because I've been fighting with that car for 2 days, trying to get to struts, mount them. It's not easy to mount these struts by yourself when you got to pull the strut up with your hand and try to bolt the thing with the other and pull it. And you're like, holy man, it's tough as you get old. Anyways, I got that accomplished. I put the new struts, blah, blah, blah. I got them all done. Then I was like, oof, I got 2 bad tires that I have to replace. So the next day after that, I take myself down to Walmart to get 2 new tires replaced because they were warped and almost ripped apart, And as I'm driving, the car's like wobbling, boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, oh man. Anyways, long story short, that's me in a nutshell. That's where I've been for it's going to be almost 3 weeks, since I last posted a video. So after that, I was just recuperating. I didn't want to do anything. I was tired. I was exhausted. Everything hurt, man. And I was like, I wasn't doing the best things, to be honest with you. I drank a little wine here and there to numb the pain because that's what I like to do when I'm hurt. So anyways, in a nutshell, that was what was going on with me. Now I am a little bit more on track. There are further repairs that I have to do to the car. I have an issue with I think a window regulator. I have a leak somewhere. The water's leaking on the front, on the driver's side of the rug for whatever reason. I'm not sure where it's coming from, but I gotta figure that out. I gotta get some handles for the driver's side and all the handles for all the doors because they're cracked and so forth. So there's a lot of things I have to do. I'm going to try to tackle them one by one, but I'm going to try to post and be a little more consistent if that is a possibility. As you know, my world's always upside down and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do for income. Unemployment was another issue that was on the hold up. I finally got a hold of them on Friday. And there was an issue there, something was on hold up, and hopefully they're going to get that pushed through so that I can finally start getting my checks. It's been 2 months since I've applied for unemployment and nothing coming through. And I'm on panic mode, mind you, all that. So that's where I've been in a nutshell. And sorry for the lack of posts. I'm back. I just want to give you a quick update of that. I'm thankful for those that do watch the videos. And stay tuned. I will have more to come in the next few days. I don't know what I will talk about. I'll try and see whatever comes up, whatever I figure out, or whatever is wrong in my life. But anyways, guys, thank you all for tuning in. I will catch you all in the next one, and bye for now.